السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ومن شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا تحية طيبة وبركة من عند الله. Thank you to brother Hisham and to all the participants. All right, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate to the organizer for organizing this such a unique conference. When Professor Patrick Collins yesterday said that this is such a unique conference, a different conference, and to an extent strange conference as compared to the existing conference in the markets, it reminds me one hadith narrated by Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu. Qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, bada Islam ghariban fasayaudu kama bada ghariban fatuba lil ghuraba. Yes, so this is a strange conference. It's a unique conference. So there's a Bada Islam. Islam begins as a stranger. It will return to being a stranger, and so blessed are the strangers. So may Allah bless all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, first, before I proceed, let me make several disclaimers. I'm not a mufti, I'm not a sheikh, I'm not an imam. So I will not issue any fatwa today. I will not any declarations of haram or halal. And secondly, I'm not an economist, I'm not a monetary expert, so I will not provide any solutions regarding this. But I'm just a student of Shariah, a researcher, still learning, and I will try to share with you my initial findings about the characteristics of money from Shariah. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, this is the journey of my presentations. Okay, I will try to skip because the journey is take time, hours to finish the journey. So I will try to skip and try to emphasize. So this presentation, I will take this opportunity to highlight certain unresolved issues pertaining to money. All right, particularly the money that we have today. So this is introductions. I have to admit that from my research is that the classical legal scholars do not develop a concise theory of money from faith perspective. All right, particularly in terms of fiat money and bank credit money or fractional reserve banking. You cannot find, or me, I couldn't find any books or any scholars who developed concise theory on money. So this is the scarcity of literature, and this we need to develop, right? So, all right, this is the discourse on money by Muslim jurists. Okay, the phase one, the scholars were exposed to gold and silver as the main form of money. Okay, and the phase two, scholars were increasingly faced with problems associated with extensive use of copper-based money. So it's triggered the problems when they start to use copper-based money known as fulus. Alright? So we can say that this is a conventional money. We can make an analogy, this is fiat money. Alright? And phase three, scholars will face problems associated with the use of fiat money. This is very problematic. So I will try to enlighten several issues or points on this aspect. Okay? Let's have a look at fiat money. What is the problem with fiat money? I just want to quote one from Dyer. His article about the almighty dollar. Not the Bruce Almighty or whatever, but this is the almighty dollar. We say that by off the gold standard, the US has obliged the world's US balance of payment deficit by using their surplus dollars to buy as treasury bonds and maintain large amounts of dollar reserve whose total amount rapidly goes beyond America's intention to pay. So it creates so many problems as what has been explained earlier, yesterday and today. Alright? So the first thing before I mention or specify what are the characteristics of Shariah money. So what is money? Okay, I try to find the discourse, to find the opinion, the views of the fuqaha, and I took one scholar. This is Ibn Taymiyyah. in Majmu' al-Fatawa. Okay? Money and coins are not meant for themselves, but they are meant to be used for acquiring goods. So in other words, as a medium of exchange. Imam al-Ghazali in his book, Ihya Ulumuddin, to use money for the purpose not intended for its creation is vicious. And not a fuqaha, but this is economist, just Professor Muhammad Manzoor Ali, he said that money is a medium of exchange. So in other words, money is not a commodity, money is just a medium of exchange to measure a value. So this is the principle for money. So characteristic of money, I believe that Professor Ahmad Kamil just already explained it, so I will skip. So these are the forms of money: natural money, precious metals, and artificial or fiat money. So Muslim jurisprudence on money, there are two school of thoughts. Okay, before I specify or mention about the characteristic of Sharia money, it will depend which school of thought. Okay, the first is gold and silver as the only money, and second view, accept fulus and fiat money as money. So have a look at the reasons. This is the summary. Okay, the Shafi'i scholars, the Hanbali scholars, the Hanafi scholars, the Maliki scholars, including contemporary scholars. If you can see that, this is all great scholars, not the medium scholars, medium wealth. Okay, so this is great scholars. Based on what reasons? So this is the reasons, the illah for them. The first is based on Sunnah Taqririyah. Alright? So if somebody put an effort to promote the usage, the utilization of gold and silver, is considered as a Sunnah. Try to revive the Sunnah. So it's great jihad. You see? And secondly, Mu'amalah and Ibadah Maliyah. So calculation of zakat on money, diya or blood, money, theft, punishment, and exchange transaction is based on gold and silver. Dinar and dirham in Al-Quran and Al-Hadith, based on the principle of justice. Hoarding of gold and silver, iktinas in Arabic, is also prohibited, and the stability of value. So I will try to link this. So these scholars, alright, the fuqaha, do not mention specifically the characteristics, but I tried to characterize, to extract from the rulings, okay, what are the characteristics of money from first perspective. This is also debatable, but this is what I tried to extract from the rulings or from the views of the fuqaha. The first is that precious metals, alright, and secondly, it must have intrinsic values, and third is Allah assigned the value upon it. So not everybody, not the central banks, not even the commercial banks. And four, functions as a medium of exchange, as a measure of value, and a unit of account. So there are four characteristics. So I will try to prove this. Okay? First one. Okay. So look at the function of money. Number 4. Alright? As a medium of exchange, you can refer to Surah At-Tawbah. As a store or measure of value, you refer to Surah Al-Imran. The unit of account, you refer to Surah Yusuf. So this indicates the functions, characteristic of money. Alright? And look at gold and silver as money in our Quran. Okay? Dinar and dirham. Alright? So these verses demonstrate that Allah created gold and silver to be used, among other things, as money. This is affirmed by Ibn Khaldun. Alright? This is affirmed by Ibn Khaldun. So we look at gold and silver in hadith. Okay? I just quoted these two hadiths. So this hadith is very important. Particularly, hadith Abu Bakr bin Abi Maryam reported that the messenger of Allah says, a time is certainly coming over mankind in which there will be nothing left that will be used for benefit save a dinar, gold coin, and a dirham, silver. So this hadith indicates that gold and silver is the only money. Alright? So this is just the characteristic of gold and silver as money. Alright? And I move to the second the second school of thought, and then I will try to revisit the legal positions on fiat money. Alright? So this is the money is extended to fulus and fiat money. So Hanbali scholars, Hanafi scholars, Maliki scholars, all of them great scholars. Okay, they say that money is extended to fulus and fiat money. But there is one issue. One issue. What is the issue? Is that is it total abandonment of gold and silver is permissible? Because this Ibn Taymiyyah or Ibn Qayyim or whatever regarded as fulus or whatever to complement the gold and silver. So the fatwa is subject to the problem. But now, total abandonment of gold and silver. So we need to issue a new fatwa on it. A serious call to issue a fatwa. So the second view, the characteristic of money, okay, money is not characterized by all the three characteristics that for the first school of thought. Alright? But money is anything that has functions as a medium of exchange, a store, measure of value, and unit of account. And this is what Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, there was no harm in adopting as currency anything that is generally accepted by the people. But from my point of view, alright, it's not a total abandonment of gold and silver. Okay? Just to complement, okay, the precious metal as money. So these are the reasons. Okay, the sunnah, the reasons. Alright. Okay, I just want to skip the discourse. Sorry. Sorry. How to go back? Alright. The unresolved issues. Okay. Modern money, the fiat money, and the bank credit money. The first issue is that what is the basis for using fiat money? What theory? Alright. Secondly, the bank credit money. Alright. And the main issue regarding with the bank credit money is the regulation regarding fractional reserve requirement and the credit that the bank created. So I will try to show it to you, the fatwa of Majma' Fiqh, the YC Majma' Fiqh, and the Islamic Fiqh of the Muslim World League fatwa or rulings on money. Alright? And I will try to analyze the fatwa. Alright? Okay, we don't need to know what is fiat money. Alright. This is a discourse on fiat money by Muslim jurists. They try to develop the theory. Okay, they try to develop a fiqh theory on money. So the first one, usage of fulus and maghshush. Fulus is copper money, maghshush is mixed metal. Okay, mixed metal as an alternative money. Alright? So the second phase, a currency is based on the gold standard. What Professor Ahmad Kamil said, that there's not much of problems. If you link, as long as you can redeem your money with gold. Okay? And phase 3, no currency is based on the gold standards. So I will try to summarize these 5 approaches. Okay? Alright. So the fiat money in the theories of faith. The first approach is that consider fiat money as a dime. So when you consider it as a dime, it triggers several principles. That the rules for exchange of debts apply. Money cannot be exchanged for money and no forward sales. Okay? And the exchange of money for gold or silver is not permitted unless you comply with certain principles. And second theory is that considered as a suftaja. Okay, suftaja. Alright, regarded as a replacement for asman, silver and gold as precious metal. But this is not related to what we have now, because the money that, fiat money that we have is not linked with any commodities. So this is money out of nothing. So can only be justified if it's completely backed by a precious metal. So this theory also will not be applied. It's not applicable. Okay, and third theory is considered as al-fulus. Just to make an analogy with al-fulus, with copper-based money. The same legal position as money. Social control cannot guarantee. So the problem is that social control cannot guarantee the exchange value of paper money. So this theory also has a problem. And another theory is just considered as a simple good. Just consider as a simple good as any other goods. But this is serious danger. If you consider that money is just simple good, the ribawi principles will not be applied. So it will create more implications. But the fatwa by Majma' Fiqh and the fatwa by the Islamic, the Muslim World League Personally, from when I read the fatwa, based on the 4 principles, based on as-saman, alright? Different currencies as well as gold, silver and fulus are regarded as different types of currency. Strong danger of gharar, but this problem is strong danger of gharar. So I will try to have a look at this theory as-saman. Okay, fatwa on fiat money. So have a look at the 3rd conference on Islamic Fiqh Academy, which held in Amman, Jordan, on 16 October 1986, whether it resolved our issues. Fiat money is a currency that stands with its own value. Okay? So, I do not know which values, who assigned the values. Really? Whether this refers to intrinsic values or extrinsic values, and the bigger issue is that who assigned these values. Alright? And its rule is similar with the rule of gold and silver. This is as-saman. They do not mention that this is the theory of it from as-saman, but when I try to analyze it, it's considered as a theory from as-saman. Death is treated as one of zakatable as well as ribawi items. The new English word is zakatable. Okay? Ribawi. Okay? Salamable item. This also. So this is fatwa on fiat money by Majma' Fiqh OIC. So a very brief, even you can question, okay, so many issues in this fatwa. So we need a good quality of fatwa. Okay, I try to refer another is better than this fatwa. Okay, fatwa on fiat money, resolution of the Islamic Fiqh Academy of the Muslim World League in 1985, resolution number 6 regarding paper currency. Okay, first, paper currency has become the medium of exchange for today's goods. It has replaced gold and silver in today's financial transaction, and it is the standard by which goods are valued. So you see that this paper money is a measure of value. Alright? And fiat money, the title is regarding paper currency, but the ruling said fiat money. Fiat money is used to store value. Okay? So we can have whether our fiat money is a good store of value, because the value depreciating from time to time. Okay? And though it lacks intrinsic value, this one is very interesting, because they admit that fiat money has no intrinsic value. So if we refer the characteristic of the first school of thought, so it fails to fulfill the requirement of intrinsic value. Alright, but they choose the second views. Okay? And the people's confidence in it, so the people confident, because there is no intrinsic value, it based on the people's confidence, is gharar, I believe. Maybe you can challenge, but this is my view. Alright? And their regard for it as the medium of exchange has bestowed the quality of being counter-value for any exchange upon it. Alright? And finally, paper currency is an independent form of money, and the rules for gold and silver money apply to it, because they consider it as a money currency based on the hadith of gold for gold, silver for silver. So the ribawi principles, okay, rules for gold and silver money apply to it, therefore is compulsory to pay zakah on it. So I believe that this fatwa also needs further clarifications, because this fatwa do not discuss the actual implementation, the actual forms of money that we have today. So let me try to highlight some of the issues. Alright, these are the reasons based on the qiyas, istihsan, uruf, al-masalih al-mursalah, and sad al-zara'i. Okay, so they use all the fiqh, the usul fiqh, okay, to derive these justifications, the Majma' Fiqh and also the Muslim World League Islamic Fiqh Academy. Okay, alright. The issue. Okay. There are about 8 issues I want to highlight today, and I want to include one of the resolution if if the participant agree that there's a serious need to revisit, to review the fatwa on money.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try to highlight these 8 issues at least. Why we need to revisit. Alright, we need to review the fatwa. I cannot say that the fatwa is wrong, but the fatwa has to be reviewed. Because when you make a wrong fatwa, the mujtahid say that if you make wrong fatwa, you get 1. If you make a correct fatwa, you get 2. So this is justification. So no need to worry when you show ijtihad. But this is, you need to review and to revisit the fatwa. The first issue on intrinsic value. This is a serious issue. Okay, what Professor Kamil and even Sheikh Imran in his book Gold and Dinar clearly mentioned about this intrinsic value. Fiat money has no intrinsic value. Fiat money do not carry any intrinsic value, but at large their money has nominal value, owing to the fact that a sovereign state has declared it legal tender. Okay, supplanting money that is universally regarded as having intrinsic value. So who assigned this value? By legal tender. Okay, by through law. So it questions, issues, right? And the principle of nominalism being a legal tender at the time of payment money involve an obligation to pay for material goods regardless of its intrinsic value. It's sometimes strange, isn't it? Because the counter value is different with the values. And fiat money is created by the government at no cost apart from that of materials. Okay, part of that materials. So the first issue. I move to the next issue. Alright. So the next issue on the authority to create money. Okay, if you visit banks or you look at the first school of thought, the first view, that the characteristic of Sharia money is that Allah assigned the value, okay, to the money. So the gold and silver as the money. Okay, but here, the money creating functions of the private banks are subjected to government regulation. Fiat money has resulted in the regulation of what power of money making to the banking system. Okay, so the government delegate the power to the commercial banks to make money. So where the government get the authority to create money? So the source of power we cannot find. Alright, and secondly, money creation will cause a gradual shift of power to the hands of those who control the financial systems. Alright, and the bank's ability to produce credit money is not regulated, but rests on its economic prudence, policy choice, and this is worsened by the banking deregulations and so on. And such a wide and arbitrary power is against the principle of trust or accountability and under the Shariah. Alright, so this issue on the authority to create money is also an issue. I move to the third issue. I hope that I can finish early so we can discuss and we can have discussions. Even though I may not able to answer everything, but I will try to give a reflections on the questions. All right. So issue on medium of exchange. Listed issue. Imam Malik, all right, in his book Muwatta. Any merchandise commonly accepted as a medium of exchange. But he specified what is meant by this. Money has to be merchandise. But fiat money is only for the value of the paper itself. Okay, not for what is written on it. That's the problem. Money must be something tangible. And secondly, money must be commonly accepted. But what we have now is accepted by force, without free wills. Because the legal provisions, okay, force you to accept that as money. That's why when Kelantan want to issue dinar and dirham, they issue of currency. Because under the Malaysian Currency Ringgit Act, nobody can issue the money except Central Bank of Malaysia. Section 2 of the Malaysian Currency Ringgit Act 1975. The fraudulent nature of the offer. So the issue is the fraudulent nature of the offer, obliged to accept something above its value. Okay? So above its value. This is another issue. Alright. Issue on a store of value. Okay? A store of value. Gold and silver is a good store of value. We cannot question it. Almost ijma ulama, gold and silver is money. Okay, so we don't have to discuss about gold and silver. But what about the characteristics of fiat money in terms of store of value? Fiat money is no longer backed by gold. Hence, it's not considered to be appropriate store of value. In contemporary financial system, money is not a good store of value since its value generally depreciates over time. Namely, its purchasing power erodes due to monetary inflations. Okay, not the real inflation, but this is inflation caused by monetary inflations. Okay, so it's not good a store of value. We move to issue on stability of value. Is this fiat money system inherently stable? Okay. From my readings, from my research, is that I divide into two views of scholars. The first views is that they really criticize gold and dinar, and they try to prove that gold and dinar is not stable. I won't be silent. I will try to be loud, try to highlight this Sinuraj, whereby the benefit obtained by the first user of the fiat money, the bankers in the case of trading money, and the government in the case of currency notes and coins. So, Sinuraj of the international fiat currency is in large part behind the current instability of the global monetary order, which has been said by Robert Munger, the Nobel laureate, in 1997, in his article about gold could come back. See? And contemporary Muslim jurists, including Majma' Fiqh, are silent on the issue of Sinuraj in developing the theories of money from fiqh perspective, as to the best of my knowledge. Alright? Perhaps I made mistakes. You can correct me. Alright? So, is the issue in that, is the creation of fiat money is a serious form of riba? Okay. Yeah. And is Sinuraj not compatible with, Sinuraj is compatible with Maqasid Shariah? Even. The first is halal. The second is whether it's ethical or akhlaq as well. So this is need to be thrown out to the scholars again. Okay. I hope that this issue will be reviewed by the scholars, and we need. I think this conference, the resolution may initiate this initiative, or either to submit it to at least to the Majlis Fatwa Kebangsaan at the local level, national level, or submit to the SAC, the Shariah Advisory Council of Bank Negara, which is not paid by the Bank Negara, paid by the independent, because they are appointed by the Yang Pertuan Agong, not by the finance minister. Alright? Or submit this to Majma' Fiqh, or IC Majma' Fiqh, or Muslim World League, or any kind of fatwa bodies, to review the legal position on the issue of Sinuraj. Alright? And issue on ownership. Alright, 10 minutes, alright. Oh, I have ample time, 10 minutes. Issue on ownership. In order to make it lawful for you to own some things, you need to put an effect, unless you inherit from your father, or your gift or something. But this is the medium washing. Okay? So every transfer of asset, gift, inheritance, or likewise, must be compensated for. So most money in the present monetary system is created by privately owned commercial banks, through the credit bank, credit money, by means of the FRB, fractional reserve banking. So FRB creates ownerships out of nothing, without putting an effort. Just get a license. There is the effort to get the license. Alright? Without work and taking on legitimate risks. So this issue al-anwad, or issue al-ghulm bil-ghulmi, issue al-haraj bil-daman, is a point. Thereby transferring ownerships wrongfully. Okay? It's not haram. I cannot say it's haram. I'm not declaration it's haram, not wrongfully. Okay? And this is supported in the Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah An-Nisa, provision of transferring wealth through batil, wrongful means, prohibited. Right? And finally, freedom to choose medium of exchange. Alright? Freedom issue on free will. So in contracts, freedom of free will, you must have that options. In other words, one of the shurut fil uqud is al-khiyar. Either khiyar al-majlis or khiyar. But freedom to choose medium of exchange, I might be wrong, so we have a discussion, right? So people were forced to accept things without intrinsic value as people were forced to accept things without intrinsic value as a measure of value, the legal tender law. Right? So the measure of value by force, went by legal tender law. Interestingly, if you read section 2b, section 2, subsection b of the article of the MF under chapter 4, okay, under the article of the agreement of the IMF, okay, nobody can issue gold anymore. It will contravene the IMF article of agreements. So look at who are the signatories of NMF. Almost all 57 OIC countries signatories of the IMF. So we cannot issue gold. This is one force. And secondly, the national law, including Malaysia, as I said, the Malaysian Currency Ringgit Act 1975 also do not provide an option for you to choose other than a ringgit, the so-called fiat money, Malay version, or not Malaysian version. So the established legal tender laws force people to accept the modern monetary system when disputes are adjudicated in the courts, and force people to accept over its value. That's the most important. Okay, over its value. So, in conclusion, there are at least 8 issues need to be analyzed, need to be revisited again by the scholars to issue another rulings on money, particularly fiat money and fractional reserve banking systems that we have in the markets. So, in conclusions, so this is my conclusions. Alright, sorry. Can anybody help me? The conclusion is very much important. It's important than the contents also. Alright, sorry. Alright, thank you very much for your assistance. These are not my conclusions. Alright, there's a conclusion, there's go to hard copy. Alright. The conclusion is that the first findings, my initial finding is that the classical and even contemporary Muslim jurists, legal scholars, do not develop a concise theory of money yet. Okay, so we need to do further research on this. And the foundation for money have changed considerably from precious metal, gold standard, and finally fiat money without a real counter value. So this is the issue. And new aspects of using money call for new directions in Islamic legal thought and theories. So serious call for new directions. And the existing theories of faith on fiat money seem to be insufficient and need further research. Alright? We cannot blame the classical legal scholars because the money that they have during that times is not the money what we have. Alright? So they just address the issue only to that period. So we are the Muslims, or the scholars, contemporary, need to address this issue. And questions: is total abandonment of the use of gold and silver is permissible? If you refer back to the second school of thought, they are silent on this. Okay, even though they allow money extended to fiat or fulus, but they are silent whether we can totally abandon the usage of gold and silver. Okay? And the second question is the maqasid Shariah are attainable in a fiat money system, whereby through strong evidence fiat money is unstable, and in fact lead to poverty, unemployment, and so on, the economic implication, and so on. So it does not fulfill the pillars of Maqasid al-Shariah, at least the protection of wealth. You see? The protection of wealth. If you cannot protect your wealth, it will lead to poverty, and poverty is close to shirk. And so it will lead to another issue on the protections of religions as well. The paramount consideration of Maqasid Shariah. And finally, this is my hypothesis, this is my final conclusion, is that there is a serious call to revisit the fatwa on both the fiat money and the fractional reserve banking systems, and may Allah assist us in doing this research.